Langley. When most people not from here think about Langley, they think about Fort Langley, oblivious to this amazing little community of Willoughby, only an 11-minute drive away. A blend of urban and rural, this community seems to toe the line perfectly for those looking for a slower pace of life with some more yard frontage, but still close to all your local amenities. And with the introduction of the upcoming Surrey Langley SkyTrain, slated to open in 2028, you also get access into the heart of downtown Vancouver. Now, with all this buzz about this community, I knew I had to come take a look at how one developer, Zenterra, are planning on being part of the solution with their new 199 condo project, The Commons, which has just broken ground right here in the birthplace of BC. Now, if you haven't heard of Zenterra, I got you covered. A self-proclaimed crafter of communities, 26 awards to their names and over 14 developments built since 2012. Zenterra is a full in-house team, allowing them to maintain complete control of every project, which means everything from construction, land acquisition, land development, project management, design, marketing, sales, and customer service are managed by the same company. Something you don't tend to see too often these days. Now, most recently, they've been involved in King and Crescent in Surrey and Newbury right here in Langley. Having an experienced local developer is pretty crucial to this community, as the township of Langley, where the Commons will be situated, is one of the fastest growing municipalities in Metro Vancouver and estimates a population increase of 25% by 2040, meaning 200,000 people will be needing a home in this area. So, yeah, the more homes the better. And I, for one, am excited to check them out. These models never cease to amaze me. I always feel like I'm some kind of omnipotent being lording over my kingdom. It's so cool. And the lights work. That's amazing. This is the site for the new development, and we can kind of get a feel for how the Commons is expected to interact with the community. Now, all the way over here, off model, is the historic town of Fort Langley. And then Willoughby Town Centre, where we just were, is less than a kilometre away from the development itself. You also get a cluster of restaurants and grocery stores just by the highway, with tons of recreational amenities like cinemas, sport complexes, and golf courses. Now, the downside to all of this: walkability. Is Langley Township the most walkable place to live? Debatable, but the Commons definitely is. You're 3 blocks to downtown Willoughby, and while a car is always nice to have, the Carboat Exchange, a major bus loop and a park and ride facility, is located in Willoughby, providing direct express bus service to the region's SkyTrain and the West Coast Express, along with transit services across Langley and neighbouring communities. Meaning, ultimately, you may not be as reliant on a car as you thought by moving out here. Which actually brings up an interesting tidbit. There is a road that separates Langley City from Langley Township, 2 separate municipalities. And while clearly close to each other, there are some interesting benefits with living on this side of the bypass. The township, for example, boasts a very low crime score on the CSI index, while the city... Well, look, we're not talking about the city in this video. All you have to know is politically, you are a different entity to the city when choosing to live here. One of the things I love to do during the research phase of these episodes is the breaking open of the marketing machines of these developers. Now, I always say, understanding who a developer is marketing to can tell a lot about the future of the development and ultimately who your neighbours might be. It seems like Zenterra are doubling down with the major demographic of people living in the township already, catering to those in their early 30s to early 40s who are looking for somewhere to live, possibly as their first home. This age group means that schools are also going to be a huge factor for budding families making the move this way. Luckily, the Commons location means you fall into about 13 different school catchments from pre-K to high school. One of the critiques, though, of the township is its lack of amenities to the residents. Now, the township itself is hoping to address such concerns with the 2021-2030 Social Sustainability Strategy. But to really get a sense of that, we should probably check out where this development is being built. So the first thing you're going to notice about your new home is the view. I mean, look at this backdrop. The houses being built here are between 4 and 6 stories tall, and luckily 6 stories isn't going to tower too high over anyone, meaning this view should be relatively untouched. Phase 1 is going to be built just here, focusing on a 6-story building offering a variety of condo sizes, starting at 437 square feet and going all the way up to the 3-bed, 2-bath units, which are just below 1,000 square foot. Not the largest available when you compare it to other resale in the area, but you are getting something brand spanking new, so maybe that's a trade-off you make by buying into here and getting all the bells and whistles. Ultimately, this development is designed to be a community within a neighbourhood, featuring 6,000 square foot of rooftop amenity space, including gardens, barbecue areas, a putting green, and various gathering spaces so that you can mingle with your mates. The structure itself is also going to be wood-framed housing, which is better for the environment and good for things like insulation in the winter and cooling in the summer. Another cool thing is the Zenterra's commitment to community care, which is evident when you see things like Zenterra Cares and the Zenterra Green Initiative, where they're providing meals to elementary schools and also committing to replanting and increasing tree canopy in the neighbourhoods that they develop in. Like we said earlier, to get around here may require a car to really feel free, and Zenterra understand the need for secure and safe parking facilities, which is why they plan to build an underground parkade with 2 levels to accommodate 264 vehicles, including 24 accessible stalls and 21 visitor stalls, along with the mandatory surface loading stall, so that you can get that new couch loaded in with ease. Finally, the last thing I think you need to know about this community and soon-to-be new home is just how quiet it is. I mean, not today, obviously, but I promise you, when this is all done, this place is going to be a little slice of paradise. What we are standing in right now is an example of a 1-bed, 1-bath unit in that phase 1 that we spoke about. Home seekers will have a bit of customization options, being able to choose between the ash or oak design depending on your preference. The floors are 8-foot wide plank luxury vinyl throughout the living areas and soft carpeting throughout the bedrooms. The ceilings are a reflection of the times, choosing instead for the 9-foot as opposed to the traditional 8 feet. And if you do look all the way down, you'll see electric baseboard heating. When it comes to appliances, Zenterra are splashing out with Samsung, including an energy-efficient front-loaded Samsung washer and dryer. No word on whether it'll be smart tech just yet, but one can dream, eh? Okay, so let's talk brass tacks. How much is all of this home gonna cost you? Well, at the time of making this video, a Studio 1 bath is going for around $439,990, while their bigger 3-bed, 2-bath are approximately $780,000. If you do want to buy here, you'll be looking at a deposit of 10% down within 7 days. The development are allowing assignment with a 0% fee, so the potential for investors is pretty great here. Short-term rentals currently require a license from the township, but things are changing fast on that front. Rental in general here though have the potential for great return, with average prices here on par with what you'd see in somewhere like Burnaby, but at a fraction of the purchase cost. And while we don't have definitive numbers just yet, strata fees are estimated to be about 49 cents per square foot per month. Zenterra are also sweetening the deal by dropping the occasional incentive every now and again, so check back often to keep up to date and make sure you get the best bang for your buck. So, the Commons. Small town vibes, but still maintaining close proximity to Burnaby, Surrey, and even downtown Vancouver. Look, I'm not a frequent visitor to Langley, but I was pleasantly surprised by what I saw today at the Commons. I think it boils down to local knowledge. Zenterra have been working out of here for years now, and their commitment to building better and being better shows in their approach to these purpose-built communities. With the potential for the Commons to serve as an investment home or as your next home, and the push for growth in the township itself, I'm confident Langley, Willoughby, and the Commons are somewhere you're going to want to keep an eye on. Also, from someone coming from downtown Vancouver, free parking. Mwah.